Think about the great rivalries that have shaped our world. The United States and China compete in trade, technology, artificial intelligence, and military power. Every breakthrough on one side sparks a response from the other. Every achievement becomes a challenge to be surpassed. But now this competition has reached beyond our planet into the vast darkness of space itself. The question is no longer just who will dominate on Earth, but who will dominate the heavens. And right now, China is making a bold play that could reshape the future of space exploration. In the coming years, Chinese astronauts, or taikonauts, as they're called, could become the next humans to set foot on the moon, more than half a century after the last Apollo mission. This isn't just about planting a flag. It's about establishing a permanent lunar base by 2035 and claiming a strategic foothold on another world. If you want to follow humanity's space exploration, subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. While much of the world focuses on the International Space Station, something remarkable has been happening 400 kilometers above Earth. China's Tiangong space station, which translates to Heavenly Palace, has been operating as a permanent modular space station in low Earth orbit since its completion in 2022. Unlike the ISS, which represents collaboration among 16 nations, Tiangong is entirely Chinese-built and operated, a testament to the country's growing space prowess. The station has hosted 7 crewed missions and multiple cargo resupply flights since 2021, carrying more than a dozen astronauts who have conducted long-term stays and completed numerous spacewalks. As of October 2025, the station has been continuously inhabited for approximately 1,240 days, more than 3 years of uninterrupted human presence in space. On April 24, 2025, the Shenzhou 20 mission launched, carrying Commander Chen Dong, mission operator Chen Zhongrui, and science operator Wang Jai to the station for a 6-month stay. This wasn't just another routine mission. It marked the 9th crewed flight to Tiangong and demonstrated China's ability to maintain regular, reliable access to space, something only a handful of nations can accomplish. What makes Tiangong particularly impressive is its scientific output. The space station has supported over 180 scientific research projects in space life sciences, human research, microgravity physics, and space technology, yielding groundbreaking results. In August 2025, state media reported that Tiangong set a new record in space-based materials research by heating a tungsten alloy to temperatures exceeding 3,100 degrees Celsius, pending independent verification. But China isn't content with just operating a space station. Plans are underway to expand Tiangong with new modules, with the Long March 5B rocket slated to launch additional modules to meet growing demands for science and potentially boost international cooperation. In October 2023, China announced revised plans to expand the station to 6 modules starting in 2027. Perhaps one of the most significant developments is China's opening of Tiangong to international astronauts. In 2025, China discussed training and potential participation of a Pakistani astronaut aboard the Tiangong space station, marking a historic shift in global space cooperation, though no crew member has yet been officially selected. This isn't just symbolic. It represents China's commitment to inclusive space development and positions Tiangong as an alternative platform for nations excluded from or unable to access the ISS. China has confirmed its deepening space cooperation with countries participating in the Belt and Road Initiative, BRICS nations, and European partners. focusing on advancing collaboration in lunar and deep space exploration. The message is clear. China's space program is becoming increasingly international in scope and ambition. 2025 has been an extraordinarily busy year for China's space program. The Tianwen-2 mission, planned for launch in late 2025 or early 2026, will explore the near-Earth asteroid 469219 Kamo-Oalewa and collect samples from its surface before conducting orbital explorations of the active asteroid 311P Pan-STARRS. If successful, this would bring back China's first samples collected from interplanetary space, a milestone achievement in deep space exploration. China also launched the SMILE mission, the Solar Wind Magnetosphere Ionosphere Link Explorer, a joint mission with the European Space Agency equipped with 4 payloads to explore how solar wind interacts with Earth's magnetosphere. These aren't just scientific curiosities. Understanding space weather is crucial for protecting satellites, power grids, and astronauts on future deep space missions. On the commercial front, China is making rapid strides. The Long March 8A carrier rocket is preparing for its maiden flight, expected around late 2025, specifically developed to meet the launch requirements of large-scale constellation networks with a payload capacity of 7 tons for low Earth orbit. Commercial rockets from companies like CAS Space's Ligian 2, Landspace's Zhuke 3, and iSpace's Hyperbola 3 are all planned for orbital flights or tests in 2025, showcasing China's burgeoning commercial space sector. But all of this, the space station, the asteroid missions, the commercial rockets, serves a greater purpose. China has announced an audacious goal to land Chinese astronauts on the moon before 2030. Key components including the Long March 10 carrier rocket, Mengzhou manned spacecraft, Lanyu lunar lander, Wangyu lunar spacesuit, and Tansuo crewed lunar rover are currently in preliminary prototype development phase. These aren't just concepts on paper. They're real hardware being built and tested right now. The mission plan involves launching 2 carrier rockets, one carrying a manned spacecraft and another carrying a lunar lander into lunar orbit. The spacecraft and lander will rendezvous and dock. Then astronauts will transfer to the lander for descent to the lunar surface. This approach mirrors the lunar orbit rendezvous strategy used by NASA's Apollo program, but with modern technology and Chinese engineering. On August 6, 2025, China conducted a tethered landing and ascent simulation of the Lanyu lunar lander prototype in Huailai County, Hebei Province, marking the first full-scale dynamic test of a crewed lunar lander design. Using giant tether towers to simulate lunar gravity in a cratered field to mimic the moon's terrain, the test validated critical systems including guidance, navigation, control, and propulsion. According to the China Manned Space Agency, Lanyu will serve as the Lunar Life Center, Energy Center, and Data Center for astronauts after they land on the moon and can support lunar residence and activities. This isn't just about planting a flag, it's about establishing sustainable lunar operations. China's lunar ambitions extend far beyond a single landing mission. In 2021, China and Russia announced they will be building an International Lunar Research Station together, formally inviting more countries and international organizations to join their project. On April 24th, China announced the creation of the International Lunar Research Station Cooperation Organization, inviting partners including Russia and several other interested nations, though formal membership remains under discussion. The vision is extraordinary. A scientific experimental facility located both on the moon's surface and in its orbit. The project's roadmap envisions milestones around 2035 and 2050, though these remain long-term planning goals. We're not talking about temporary visits. We're discussing permanent infrastructure on another world. Chang'e 7, expected to launch in 2026, will explore the moon's south pole for resources with an orbiter, lander, and mini-flying probe. Chang'e 8, expected in 2028, will verify in situ resource development and utilization technologies, including a 3D printing experiment using lunar materials to test build structures. These robotic missions are the pathfinders, testing technologies essential for human explorers who will follow. China's space ambitions don't stop at the moon. The China National Space Administration announced it will welcome international experiments on the forthcoming Tianwen-3 Mars sample return mission, in addition to 6 domestic scientific payloads already planned. This mission represents China's commitment to Mars exploration and international scientific cooperation in deep space. China has also initiated plans for the Tianwen-4 mission to explore the Jupiter system and Callisto, with a probe to fly by Uranus attached to the Jupiter probe. These aren't missions launching next year. They're part of a multi-decade vision that sees Chinese spacecraft exploring the outer solar system. Underpinning all these missions is a massive infrastructure buildup. Construction of new testing and launch facilities is underway at the Wenchang Space Launch Center in Hainan Province, specifically for lunar landing missions. China is developing next-generation Beidou satellite navigation system technology, with key breakthroughs planned for completion in 2025, ensuring precise navigation for future missions. China is accelerating deployment of its thousand sails and Guoang satellite broadband constellations, both Chinese competitors to Starlink. In Africa especially, where U.S. influence is waning, China has signed more than a dozen bilateral space cooperation agreements, funding satellites and ground stations across the continent, plus a satellite manufacturing plant in Egypt. The parallels to the Cold War space race are hard to ignore. The United States, through NASA's Artemis program, plans to return astronauts to the moon no earlier than 2027 with Artemis 3, establishing long-term lunar presence by the 2030s. China aims to land taikonauts on the moon by 2030. Both nations are developing lunar bases. Both are eyeing Mars. But this isn't simply a repeat of the 1960s. Today's space race is more complex, involving not just two superpowers, but multiple nations, commercial entities, and international partnerships. China's approach, building Tiangong independently while inviting international cooperation, developing both government and commercial capabilities, and pursuing systematic exploration from lunar orbit to Mars and beyond, represents a comprehensive, long-term strategy. The name Tiangong means heavenly palace, and across China, the launch of the first Tiangong module inspired a variety of feelings, including love poetry, with the rendezvous of space vehicles compared to the reunion of the cowherd and the weaver girl from Chinese mythology. Space exploration has always been about more than technology. It's about human dreams, national pride, and our collective aspiration to reach beyond our world.
Now, China has successfully launched its youngest ever astronauts, or taikonauts, into space, where they'll spend the next 6 months on a station called Heavenly Palace. Beijing is...
As we approach 2030, the next 5 years will be pivotal. Will China achieve its goal of landing taikonauts on the moon? will the International Lunar Research Station become reality? How will the expanding Tiangong space station evolve? These aren't just Chinese questions. They're human questions about our species' future as a spacefaring civilization. What's certain is that China's space program has transformed from a distant follower to a leading force in just 2 decades. From launching its first taikonaut in 2003 to operating a permanent space station, from landing rovers on the far side of the moon to planning crewed lunar missions, China has demonstrated remarkable technical capability, strategic vision, and unwavering commitment. The heavenly palace orbits above us right now, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Soon, Chinese footprints may join American ones in the lunar dust. And beyond that, Mars, the asteroids, the outer planets, the next chapters of humanity's greatest adventure are being written today, and China is holding one of the pens. The stars have never been closer, and the race to reach them has never been more exciting. If you enjoyed this journey through the terrifying beauty of space, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next.